perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions, daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, you don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when I breath on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm the sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh baby, my bets are off. Everything was better off.
Yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Oakland Raiders. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. On the ground, it's Barber to start the drive. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching...
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Back to throw. Dyson. That'll be caught by Rice. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Barber on 1st and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Barber. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Dyson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive. Starts the game with a pick here.
But we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked him, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice. And some space here. 34 yards there and a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brings up second and 7 at the Raiders' 15-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone. Right there.
On second down, it's Hill. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Check 26, check 26.
From the gun, Jackson. It's Hill, complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll run for it with Hill. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. So give him the first down. 1st and goal after a pickup of 4. And the decision to go for it pays off. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. They'll run it with Hill. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
So that'll back him up 5. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. He may try, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
To throw again. Dyson. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Wide, get wide. Slam. Check nine. Check 37. You go tight.
On the ground with Hill to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On the toss, here's Hill. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Looking to throw. Dyson. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Back to throw. Dyson. That's complete to John Ross. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll throw on first down with Jackson out to his left. The ball comes out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
52's the mic, boys. 52.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a first down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Don't get nervous. Check.
Now a 10th carry for Hill. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson in the final seconds of the first half as the Ravens push further out in front.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, you don't want to see me. Off. Mike 40, go.
A final shot before break. Dyson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here. Charles has already thrown off his headset. He's out here. He says, it's Christmas Day. I'm going home. We're not done yet, though. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll go with Hill here on first down. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson buying time to his left. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 39.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
On second down, Hill. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Check 13. Check 13.
Now here's Hill. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justice Hill with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Looking to throw. Dyson. Got a man open. It's Ross. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Back to throw. Dyson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is, and this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and has come into the game, so you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting him at this point.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Dyson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. A former first-round pick, Marlon Humphrey, there to get a hand on it.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them. Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air. And that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He's going deep for Brown. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he'll actually lose 6 yards on the return, but I don't think they care. They've got the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Dyson. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They're going to try and throw. Going deep downfield for Ross. And now here is another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We are off to the 4th quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
I got you, pump. Kill. Hey, screen.
On 2nd and 15 now. Jackson, and they're able to get this one across the 35. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
Hatchet. 22, jet, cover. 22, jet.
Jackson from the shotgun. Eluding the pressure right. Now here, and that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for the Ravens. 42 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Army.
Here's Jackson to throw again. And that's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after them one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Hey, check 24. Under 10.
They go play action now. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Maurice Hurst able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they are silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Raiders on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Dyson got a man. It's Ross, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him a first down. 15 yards that time for the Raiders. On 1st and 10, Dyson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And my goodness, another interception. Anthony Averett picks it. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Jackson. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to air one out. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And it gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Running is Barber. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On 3rd and 2, Dyson. Man open, Rice. And he'll have the first down as he's up to about the 18. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
53, Mike 53.
Throwing on first down. Dyson. He's got a man. Complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is down to 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. And once again, Hill, he's been busy. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do.
They've got his man complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory.